Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with Cowboy Jobu, and I am watching this doo-doo game. It is just plain ugly. But it seems like the Green Bay Packers are kind of doing to the Giants what happened to us. The Giants settling for field goal because of drop passes. And I told you guys about that Justin Bieber curse. Odell Beckham, 2 receptions for 13 yards. Sure touchdown drop, and he is getting flustered out there. So it's going to get interesting here. I hadn't planned on being on here for halftime, but I got to tell you, watching this, neither of these teams look very good. And you look at the guys that are getting injured. You got Camardi got hurt. You got Jordy Nelson that got hurt. You got guys dropping. What's up, Five Rings? You got guys dropping left and right in here. And I dare say, another half of football like this, it will be crazy how bad a shape both these teams are going to be going against us. I mean, we're going to be pretty much healthy. We've got guys at home right now probably drinking some hot chocolate, staying warm in Dallas, while these guys are out here in the freezing cold. And when it's cold and you get hit, that shit hurts. And as you can see, these guys are beating the crap out of each other. So if you're a Cowboy fan, right now you got to be feeling pretty good with what you're seeing. What's up, Nana? Five Rings, how you doing? Q baby. How are you? Tell me, how do you guys feel about what you've seen so far? Do either of these teams right now scare you? I mean, the Giants have let Aaron Rodgers have all kinds of day to throw the ball, although he hasn't been hitting. But their biggest problem is they've had a lot of drop passes. This game should be actually a Giants lead. They've had dropped 2 short touchdown passes. Odell Beckham dropped a first down in a spot that would have given him a field goal. So I'm looking at this and thinking, who would I rather at this point, John? I'm not sure that I'm worried about. I mean, look, don't get me. Okay, let me rephrase that. You worry about everybody you're playing. Looking at what I'm seeing right here, you can't tell me that either of these teams are better than the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas if the Cowboys play their game, honestly. Eli Manning has actually looked pretty good today, but neither of them have a running game. You've got, I think, 47 yards rushing in the whole half between both teams. That's pathetic. If you can't run the ball and you become completely one-dimensional, you've got your defensive linemen that are going to be able to just pin their ears back and rush like crazy. And that's what I would really love our Dallas Cowboys defense to be able to do, is to just go straight after the quarterback. If we don't have to worry about a running game, that makes it that much easier. That's been one of the problems with the Cowboys offense for years with Tony Romo, is we just were a pass-first and almost all the time team. The time that Tony Romo had a great team, 2014, was because we were balanced. And neither of these teams are balanced. They both look pretty bad. Now, granted, the weather is bad outside. It is only about 9 degrees, so that has to be taken into account as well. But I got to tell you, it's just some bad football. It's cold out there. Eagles fans, tears. Come on, man. Leave the poor Eagles alone. Although, I can guarantee you one thing. If the Giants lose, you will hear from Tommy Eagle, because he hates the Giants more than he hates the Dallas Cowboys. So all week he's been putting it to the Giants. I got to tell you, if this score holds up and Odell Beckham continues to play the way he's playing, if they don't lambaste him tomorrow, man, I'm gonna have a hissy fit. Because for him to do all the stuff that he has done this past week and not show up in his first playoff game, yeah, they have to beat him down. They have to beat him like a redheaded stepchild. At least that's my thought. But again, he's not a Dallas Cowboy player, so maybe they'll leave him alone. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Anthony, yeah, Jordy Nelson, I think he's got some cracked ribs in there. That shot he took on his ribs, that was vicious. So either of these teams, when they come in, are going to be beat up. completely beat up and one-dimensional. So I took the over. Where's the scoring? Well, bro, we knew the Giants weren't going to score more than 20 points. The Giants haven't scored more than 20 points in over 5 games. So if you're counting on the Giants scoring a lot, you're lost. Heck, Green Bay might be able to get a field goal out of this. They still have 1:06 left on the clock. They get the ball first. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I think Camardi's out, as well as a couple other guys that have been carried off the field there. So yeah, it's going to be bad for whoever. At the moment, I'm feeling good about what I'm seeing right now. At this point, I won't say I'm worried. I won't say I'm scared, but I feel good about where our Cowboys should be. Yeah, they are getting carved up. I think Aaron Rodgers is finally getting on a roll right now. He's gotten past whatever that funk was in the first quarter. The Giants had their opportunities, but their receivers dropped a lot of passes. I mean, a lot, especially Odell. Odell has 3 drops, and one was a short touchdown. Another one would have been a first down and put him into field goal position. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the talking heads have to say tomorrow. And I'm hoping that they go ahead and give it to the Giants. Yeah, Sandman, I agree with you. It right now, you couldn't ask for anything else. As far as being a Cowboy fan, to have these guys go through a dogfight like this, get banged up, and look bad. Yeah. And right now, they got 6 seconds. They got one play, and it's got to be on the outside to try and get a field goal here. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Had he caught that, I'm not sure that they would have gotten in there and been able to stop the clock with that 8 seconds when he caught it. But yeah, Hail Mary. I agree with you, Anthony. Let them keep beating each other. Am I behind here? Oh, okay. I've stopped and rewound. So, Giants, you may be already outscored because the Giants don't score a whole lot of points. Yeah. Wow. So it was interesting because I had one of my fans here had texted me and said it looks like we're gonna be it looks like we're gonna be facing the Giants again. And I said, man, we're trading field goals and you're not getting touchdowns, you're gonna lose. And that's what happened to us that first game when we played the Giants. We ended up having that Cole Beasley drop, which ended up being a field goal. We had the Des Bryant drop that ended up being a field goal. When you kick field goals after field goals, they come back to bite you in the ass. You got to get in the end zone. And that's where, had Odell caught that touchdown, boom, they wouldn't be in such a bad shape right now. So, yeah, it's getting interesting. So, I'm feeling really good right now. I cannot wait till next Sunday to get it on. There's still a half of football. Anything can happen. But right now, you got to say the momentum is going with Green Bay. Green Bay gets the ball to start the second half. It's going to be fantastic for them. Exactly, Ray. When you let a team hang around and you're just kicking field goals, as bad as Aaron Rodgers, I think they had 7 yards in the first quarter to only be down 6-0. You couldn't expect anything more. But I agree, John. I've been, the Justin Bieber curse, man. And I popped a video on Twitter about the Justin Bieber curse. So, yeah. Yeah, Odell, I think, again, we still have a half of football, so let me not count it just yet. But can you imagine if Odell ends up with, say, 3 catches and has no impact in this game and they lose, what he's going to be like afterwards in the locker room? We're going to see a complete meltdown. I mean, we've already seen him with the I don't remember in interviews or next question. We saw him growling outside of the locker room, leaning his head against the wall. Dude may just go completely off. Haven't got any updates on Jordy Nelson, but he was actually carted to the locker room. I'm thinking that he's got cracked ribs or lacerated spleen, something like that, because that was a helmet right there to the side. He doesn't wear the flak jacket like your quarterbacks do. So, I mean, cold weather, that hit, something's broken. He was definitely in pain because he literally laid on the sideline there for a good 5 minutes before they were able to even get him up. Yeah, right. Packers got the ball, start second half. Bradley, I won't say that there's any game that's going to be easy in the playoffs, but you have to say that I guarantee the Cowboys will be favored. Being at home, being indoors, being rested, and basically having their whole team back, I believe they'll definitely be favored. Yeah, well, we'll see if Eli throws a pick here. But, yeah, he's definitely a turnover machine. The thing I find funny is how the talking heads have just had this whole thing that regardless of what Eli has done, because the Giants haven't been to the playoffs since that Super Bowl in 2011. Now, what's interesting is after that Super Bowl season, Jobu went to New York, that season opening game against the Giants. And since then, the Giants haven't had a whole lot of luck. Now, I'm not going to say that Jobu had anything to do with it, but Jobu did photobomb Victor Cruz and Eli Manning. But the thing that kills me is how all of the talking heads think that, oh, Eli Manning, just because he's now in the playoffs, he's going to be a different player. He's going to be able to turn the switch on and be playoff Eli. And that's really a crock of crap because we always think about players, what they did in the past. There's still people out there that think that Michael Vick could still, win some games, and we should have signed Michael Vick when Tony Romo got hurt. And it's like you're thinking back to what that player used to be, not what they actually are now. And that's what you got to understand, that these players can get old overnight. It's kind of like a boxer that literally gets punch drunk. And Eli Manning, for the last 4 years, has been a constant turnover machine. He's been one of the top intercepted quarterbacks in the NFL every single year. Now, how do you think that you can just take that and then think that it's just going to change because it's the playoffs is just asinine. That's just wishful thinking. So Eli is being basically Eli, although his receiving core, Miami Vice, is letting him down by all the drop passes that they've had. So it's going to be interesting to see how the talking heads treat that whole situation if they end up losing. Do I think that the talking heads will say Dak was the one I was going to draft? Well, you see already Chip Kelly was saying that he wanted to draft Dak Prescott, but his GM overruled him. Basically, 31 teams in the NFL are now saying that, oh, yeah, we were thinking about drafting Dak, but it's not like he got drafted in the second round and didn't have an opportunity. 7 quarterbacks got drafted ahead of him, including guys like Connor Cook, So don't give me this crap that, oh, yeah, we were going to draft him. That's just revisionist history. It's a bunch of bullshit. And the Dallas Cowboys better thank their lucky stars and kiss up to the football gods that they got Dak Prescott. When you look at what the Rams gave up to move up for Jared Goff, when you look at what the Eagles gave up to move up to get Carson Wentz, you look at teams like the Cleveland Browns that don't have a quarterback, the Texans who maybe Brock Osweiler will be okay. He had a good game at least yesterday, but from what he did all season, does not look like he's worth $70 million. You look at the Redskins that are going to have to pay Kirk Cousins either $26 million as a franchise tag or sign him to a, mega deal. The Dallas Cowboys have a quarterback that's locked up for the next 3 years. That's the top quarterback right now in the NFL. That they're paying less than $1 million a year. That's amazing. It's incredible. You don't get that lucky. The fact that we had Tony Romo, who was undrafted, and now you got Dak Prescott in the 4th round, guys, we are the luckiest franchise out there. Every year it looks like Cleveland Browns trying to get a quarterback and never get one. Here it is. We went from Tony Romo to Dak Prescott without skipping a beat. It's just kind of amazing. Yeah, Rodgers has 2 TDs, but here's what's interesting is they're not getting any pressure on Aaron Rodgers. I'm surprised that the Giants are really – I mean, they've got 4 sacks, don't get me wrong, but Aaron Rodgers could have eaten a ham sandwich a couple of times back there while he was waiting to pass the ball. And if they don't get some more pressure on that, it's going to be a long, long night. And I dare say we can put more pressure on than what the Giants are putting on right now on Aaron Rodgers. But, we'll see. How should our defense play? Basically the same defense that we've been playing. We basically have the 2 linebackers and the 4 linemen. I think that defense has been fantastic as far as getting pressure. And with our cornerbacks able to hold up, I think that we'll be really good. The good thing about the Packers is you're not fearing the run so much. It's basically going to be pin your ears back and get to the quarterback. Yeah, they're winning without a running game because the Giants aren't doing anything either. They've only scored 13 points, and they don't exactly have a whole lot of yards. Right now, they have a total of 125 yards. 147 yards. 125 passing, 22 rushing. This is just an ugly game. And I dare say that the Cowboys will do a lot more, get a lot more yards than what the Giants are getting right now, and they will eat up that clock. And that's one of those things that all these guys that keep saying that Tony Romo will throw it downfield and stuff. Hey, listen, that's great. It's exciting. But what you really want to do, you want to play kind of like basketball back in the day before there was a shot clock. You pay 4 corners. You keep the ball from the other guys. You hold on to the ball for 5 minutes. They can't score. They can't win. So if the offense holds on to the ball, has 7, 8, 9-minute drives, it's going to limit the opportunities that Aaron Rodgers has on the field. That's the perfect offense. Get 5, 6, 7, 8 yards a chunk and work your way down the field. Eat up the clock and keep away from them. That's the way we win the game. Some more of your questions here. Yeah, both the defenses are stacking the box, but you don't have here's the thing, you don't have the offensive line like we have in Dallas, and you definitely don't have the running back like we have in Dallas. So I think we can still run the ball, and I still say the Giants really did not stop us in that game. We didn't score points because we had Doug Free doing some Olay box. We had penalties, offsides that ended up being, 3rd and 15. We ended up having false start penalties or holding penalties that bring back a 30-yard run. It's because we moved the ball, but we kept stopping ourselves. If we don't stop ourselves, we should be able to take care of either of these guys pretty handily. Well, Anthony Quinn, maybe not every time the Beaver curses work. So Merriweather, it didn't phase, but more times than not, it's worked. So just kind of roll with it, okay? I tell you what, if the Giants end up losing and Beckham has a hissy fit, I guarantee you that the Beaver curse will continue to live on. Yeah, Edwin, like I said, we had a lot of dumb penalties there. Doug Free, unfortunately, right tackles you just don't have walking around on the street. Yeah, I finished that rum and coke. I'll probably get one for the second half. Shout out to me, Eddie. Okay. Say your aim. I got you, Eddie. All right, Eddie, I got you. Shout out to you, Eddie. Got you. Do I think we have a shot at Atlanta? Listen, I think we got a shot against anybody if we play our game. But I'm not sure that Atlanta is going to get past Seattle. I think Seattle's defense is coming along. Seattle was actually able to get a running game going, and I think Seattle's offense will be able to do damage against that Atlanta Falcons defense. Atlanta scores a lot of points, but they also give up a lot of points. So look for that game to actually be a little closer than what you're going to think, I think. Packers and the Cowboys will light up the scoreboard, except for the Packers don't have a defense, but the Cowboys do. Yeah. What's the Beaver's curse? Justin Bieber has a way of showing up in sports places. He showed up with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2014 when they were on a hot streak, and went to a prayer meeting with them, and they lost that week to the Jets. He was in Barcelona, Spain after they won the World Cup and took pictures with them and hung out with them, and they couldn't get out of the regional matches the next season. So there's been this whole thing of Justin Bieber shows up and bad things happen. So you had Odell Beckham on Sunday night with Victor Cruz and Shepard partying with Justin Bieber in Miami. So if they lose, then the Bieber curse will live on. Yeah, I agree with you that Seattle looked pretty good, although they haven't played better the last couple of weeks. And it was Detroit, a team that does not play outside. However, they're still a playoff team. I agree with you, pound for pound beast, that they're basically knocking each other out. So either way, either team that we face is going to be hurting. You're talking about playing a Sunday evening game. You're going to have to travel to Dallas on Saturday. You're going to be in the hot tub, the ice whirlpool tomorrow morning and tonight, getting ready for this. So yeah, there's definitely an advantage for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm with you, Eddie. I almost want to thank all the talking heads for doubting the Cowboys, because it seems like whenever the Cowboys have been expected to do something, like the year we had the Super Bowl in Dallas, everybody was saying that, oh, the Cowboys, they could be the first team to host a Super Bowl and be in it. Well, the interesting thing was we bombed that season. So whenever the team has been thought to be really, really good and everybody's been on our bandwagon, we failed. So to me, the fact that everybody is pretty much doubting the Dallas Cowboys, everybody's down on them, it's fine by me, because the team is staying focused. They're not reading the headlines about how great we are. They're hearing you ain't shit. And so they're going out to say, oh, yeah, really? I'm going to prove you guys wrong. So, yeah, I love that. You're right, Sam, man. Odell is definitely headed for some big-time problems. And if this is if they lose, that's going to be a bad taste all offseason. Yeah, they have been getting away with some calls, but it's been actually a poorly officiated game all the way around. Ray Clemens, I agree with you. I love when they doubt us, because it's so much more fun when you can go back and throw it in your face that, yeah, you're an idiot. I love the hate too, Coach. The game doesn't end in a tie, I think. No, it won't. What's up, Rick? Yeah, playoff game. You're right. Playoff games can't end in a tie. Sean S. Odell kicking that part 3. I'd love it, man. I'd love it. I would love to see Odell just lose it on the sidelines. That would make my night. Whew. All right, so here we go with the second half. I will be back after the end of the game, guys, and hopefully the two teams will continue to beat the crap out of each other. Whoa. So I will see you guys in about an hour and 20